Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? Matt here from YoVideogames, and I'm back again to give you my final thoughts of the day on Bethesda's press conference. And, I mean, this was kind of interesting in a sense because there was a lot of announcements for Bethesda. Bethesda usually plays it really safe. They have, like, 2 big game announcements, and then usually, like, a lot of, like, mobile or TCG horse shit to sort of pad it out. And then maybe, like, a pre-order bonus or something item they go over, like the Pip-Boy armband one year. But nah, screw all that, apparently. Bethesda was going all out this year. They wanted you to know everything they've got in development from now until like 2025. So, on the one hand, that's very cool, especially if you're a Bethesda fan. But, you know, full disclosure here, I don't think outside of Doom 2016 I've ever bought a Bethesda game. Ever. I have played them. I've played hours of some of them, in fact, and I, generally speaking, just don't really like them most of the time. Usually they just don't make games that interest me, which is kind of interesting because at the end of their conference, you know, the one dude came out and was saying, like, "We believe we truly have a game for everyone here," and I'm like, no, you really don't. You have games for, you know, kind of a typically like older set. I would say like 25 and up that are PC gaming, Western RPG oriented, or shooter, you know, or longtime shooter fans. You don't have much outside of that wheelhouse, and I don't think this conference did much to really, you know, reinforce or change that notion, actually. So, as for the announcements they did have, they were varied, or I should say there were many, and they were good for the fans, but I think the biggest problem with the Bethesda conference is that they were pulling an EA here, and they were telling, not showing. They give you little snippets, and they did better than EA did with their Jedi Fallen Order or whatever the hell. They did much better than that, but at the same time here, there were so many games that were just sort of announced, and that was kind of it. You get a tiny little CG trailer, and that's kind of it. Real kind of annoying. It was cringy. There was dropped jokes. There was people kind of just staring off at the teleprompter, dead-aired moments. It was a weird, awkward conference, especially in the first half. But one thing it did do positively is it actually made me more interested in Rage 2 than the initial showing for Rage did. One thing I do have to give credit for Bethesda is they had a pretty good sense of humor about things. They joke and referred to the Walmart leak pretty heavily. Todd Howard addressed the issue that, yeah, they are Bethesda. And then they had a whole little video done with, I believe, Peele from Key & Peele. I could be getting that wrong. You know, porting Skyrim to everything, including, like, Amazon devices, voice recognition devices, and those refrigerators with TVs on them now. But anyways, yeah, the big problem I had was that, you know, not a lot of gameplay shown. There was Rage 2, which was good, and then they had snippets of Fallout 76. They did a good job explaining what it is and how it works, so I appreciate that a lot. But as far as actual gameplay, there was just tiny little snippets of, like, here's you walking around encountering a hostile person. Here's you building something. Here's a nuke going off. Here's tiny little snippets, not like a full gameplay demonstration, which I felt was kind of, like, a little annoying. And then, like, what this seemed to spend the most gameplay time on was fucking Elder Scrolls Blades, a serious attempt to make a first-person full RPG experience on mobile, and I could care less. I don't like Elder Scrolls to begin with, and then trying to put it, you know, trying to sell me on a mobile version of Elder Scrolls is like, good fucking luck. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think I was saying on Max's stream, I give this about a 7 because there were a lot of announcements. Starfield was confirmed finally. A big sci-fi space travel single-player RPG, awesome. Elder Scrolls 6, of course was happening. It's just, I guess, nice to finally have confirmation. It was cool that we're getting Wolfenstein 2 DLC. It was cool that we're getting a little VR things with that. It was cool that the big one for me was that Doom is getting sequels. It's not called Doom 2, Doom Eternal. And I'm super happy. I'm super stoked. Hell on Earth, you know, kind of following in the footsteps of the original 2 Dooms. And that's awesome. I'm fucking pumped. They said they're not really going to talk about it. They'll show it proper at QuakeCon in August. So, but yeah, we got the CG trailer. It's coming. And that's really all I really need to know for that. But yes, I would have absolutely loved to have seen actual gameplay of Doom Eternal. So, it gets high marks for announcing a lot of things, covering almost every base, you know, everything from Prey and whatnot. The only two games I believe that they didn't talk about were Dishonored and Evil Within, or what I mean. Arcane is doing stuff for Prey, but we have no idea what Tango Software is doing now. So I guess we'll see. Hopefully they're still around with the company. But it was good on announcements, not so good on showing things. If there weren't so many goddamn announcements, this would be a lot lower. This would be a lot closer to EA for me. But yeah, I mean, it was good in a sense because it got you excited about the future of what's to come. It was bad in a sense because it really didn't show shit. So that's really all I can say. I don't know how many more ways I can say that, but Bethesda had a decent conference. Lots of announcements, no gameplay, not enough gameplay. And as an aside to that, not related to Bethesda, was Devolver Digital. They had a cute conference. They showed 3 games. One of them is just an old port of an old Xbox Japanese only game. That looks really cool, and I can't wait to play it. But it was cute. It was a cute conference. What else to say? Devolver Digital. So that's my thoughts on Bethesda and Devolver for E3 2018. And I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, for that Square Enix conference. Hope to catch you there. Later, dudes.